Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, September 26th. Over the next few days, we will have no increases to fire potential. We will have some breezy winds and cooler temperatures in the north across parts of Idaho into Wyoming, but relative humidity will be above 25 to 30%, although winds will pick up even down into northwest Nevada. By Thursday, as a cold front moves across the north, we will see winds increase over southern areas, and this is where we'll see the lower relative humidity. Fuels are not critical in this area, but certainly some dried grasses and some dried shrubs could see an uptick in fire potential as the winds pick up on Thursday in the far southern areas. Over the last 24 hours, we did not see any significant weather across the Great Basin. Any showers and thunderstorms were well to our west. And we had light fire activity yesterday across the Great Basin with only 4 new fires reported for less than an acre. Over the last 7 to 14 days, we've continued to see precipitation mainly up north over much of eastern Idaho into Wyoming and northwest Utah, also down south over the last 2 weeks. Some drier spots over the last 1 to 2 weeks have still been west central and southwest Idaho down into much of the western half of Nevada and even parts of Utah. So today, again, as those winds pick up over parts of northwest Nevada into southwest and central Idaho, we could see a possible uptick in fire activity, but for the most part, the relative humidity will be on the higher side. ERC point map shows ERCs are below the 50th percentile in nearly all areas. Just a couple of bubbles there up in central Idaho and southern areas that are between 50 and 70th percentile. But really all the ERCs have generally been going up with the drier conditions, but we will see that trend reverse going through the next several days as cold fronts move through the north, and then especially this weekend with a stronger cold front. The satellite loop from this morning shows a very strong area of low pressure off the Alaskan coast. And again, this is what will be pushing our first cold front through the area here over the next 2 days. And then the stronger cold front and this low really drops down for the weekend. In the meantime, more sunny skies today. We could see some light showers up in central Idaho today, especially across the Payette. More likely just some cloud cover with a very light precipitation out ahead of this cold front. But again, the winds will be picking up, as you can see the gradient there in Idaho down into northwest Nevada. So for later today, again, mostly dry conditions, those breezier winds up north, and we could see some light precipitation skirting the Payette, but for the most part, drier conditions region-wide. And we still have our low to moderate fire potential in parts of western and southern Nevada, and then over into southern and eastern Utah in areas that have been on the drier side. So for later this afternoon, again, we will see those winds pick up, especially across central Idaho, which is where the winds will be the strongest, and we'll see gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. Further south into southwest Idaho and northern Nevada, we'll see gusts generally in the 20 to 25 mile per hour range, maybe some gusts in the upper 20s near 30 miles per hour, but relative humidity will remain above 20 or 25% in these areas of gustier winds. On Wednesday, this cold front sweeps to the east across Idaho, so we will see cooler temperatures and a better chance for some lighter shower activity up in central Idaho on Wednesday. Really no changes to our significant fire potential map, still drier and warmer conditions down south. Relative humidity remains elevated, especially across Idaho, where we'll see those showers in central Idaho where relative humidity likely won't drop below 40 or 50%. Those gustier winds will continue to track eastward over much of Idaho into western Wyoming. Again, in all areas where the winds are stronger, relative humidity will remain above 20 to 30%. Further south, we'll continue with the single-digit or low-teen RHs in southern areas of the Great Basin. As we move into Thursday, this cold front sweeps to the east, and it will allow winds to pick up over far southern areas. So the winds combined with our drier conditions, we could see a slight uptick in fire activity in the far south, with those gusts near 30 miles per hour and relative humidity 10 to 15% if we get starts in the grasses or the dried shrubs, especially in the lower elevations. No real significant precipitation over the next few days. Again, central Idaho will see some light shower activity skirting our far northern side of the Great Basin, otherwise dry conditions further south. And then it's really on Friday into the weekend where we start to see this stronger area of low pressure drop south, and this will increase cloud cover and some shower activity potential over the northern half of the Great Basin going into Friday. So we see a more significant decrease in our significant fire potential with these cooler conditions and cloud cover and at least some higher humidity, even if precipitation's on the lighter side or spotty. As we go into Saturday and Sunday, this is where we'll really start to see a significant drop in temperatures region-wide, along with better potential of more widespread precipitation and wetting rains, especially across Nevada and up into western and southwest Idaho, with lighter precipitation a little bit further east. And by Sunday, that low really just hangs around, keeping those cooler, wetter conditions region-wide. By Monday, the low starts to lift off to the north, but still moisture across the northern third of the Great Basin with cooler temperatures region-wide. We'll also see an increase in winds with this system. Again, with the precipitation and higher humidities, fire potential is not quite as significant, but we will see winds really pick up as this next cold front drops south. So look at our temperatures with this next cold front. Today, here's a look at our temperatures. We see highs in the low 60s up in central Idaho or the 50s, and then really 70s and 80s across much of Nevada, Utah, and southern Idaho. But as we get this colder system, we will see some drop in temperature, about 5 to 10 degrees in Idaho over the next few days with this weaker low. But by the Saturday, Sunday cold front, we will see a significant drop in temperatures of about 15 to 20 degrees across much of the Great Basin. So definitely will feel very fall-like in all areas going into the weekend. 7-day total amounts of precipitation, definitely much more precipitation with this cold front that moves through this weekend. So we are expecting widespread wetting rains over the northern half of the Great Basin. The heaviest precipitation will be in the higher terrain of Idaho, Wyoming, and northern Nevada and Utah. We will also see certainly some new snowfall at the higher elevations as these temperatures will really cool off across the region. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from October 3rd through the 9th, shows continued cooler weather for the west, and again, better chances of above normal precipitation for the northern half of the Great Basin. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates. And a reminder, we are doing our products and our webcasts Monday through Friday at this point.